guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a different type of video. I've only done I think like one or two of these types of videos on my channel before, but I'm going to be doing a story time video. And this one's a really interesting story time. It's very weird and I don't really know where to start with it. So this story time has to do with an ex-boyfriend of mine. The shirt that I'm wearing right now goes perfectly along with this video. It says fries before guys, so always remember that. Okay, so this has to do with my ex. I'm not going to say his name for safety purposes, even though I might not be saved after this video. Anyways, this has to do with one of my ex-boyfriends. He was actually my first love. I dated him for 3 years, and after I tell his story, you're gonna be like, why did you date him for 3 years? I will explain later. Okay, so I don't know where to start. I'm just gonna jump in. Okay, so I dated this guy for 3 years, and this was my freshman year of high school. And he was the jock. He was popular, and everyone liked him and wanted to be friends with him and all this stuff at first. And he took a liking to me, and I was kind of like a nobody, at least that's what I thought. So I was just like, ooh, okay. So we started talking, and at first it was okay. I knew right away, like I already had known that he had an alcohol problem, a drug problem, but my freshman self didn't really care. So that's great. Started off fine. We never fought. We got along pretty good, and I was just kind of like in that freshman phase where you're just like, you don't really care. You just like, oh, a guy likes you. I wasn't thinking anything long term. Freshman year, I was just kind of thinking like, oh, I'm dating a guy, like whatever. So this started, I don't even remember when. I feel like it was a few months into our relationship. We were talking on Facebook one night, and we were like messaging, and I was with one of my friends. I don't remember who it was, but I was with one of my friends. I was spending the night at my house, and he was messaging me on Facebook, and he told me that he had to tell me something. And if anyone knows that feeling you get when they say, I have to tell you something, it's kind of like a, what? So it's kind of like freaking out. And then he sends me a message. I really wish I would have saved these messages because that would have been great for this video, but he sends me a message saying that he's a werewolf. Totally laughed my head off when he sent me that. Not even kidding. Me and my friend looked at it and we laughed our heads off. He told me that I couldn't tell anybody because it was like a secret and like a pact. They had a pact, and I couldn't tell anybody, but that he trusted me, so he was gonna tell me. I don't know why I didn't run for the hills right when he told me that, like a warning sign, like light or blinker should have went off in my head, like no, go away right now. But yeah, he legit told me he was a werewolf. I'm not lying. I have Courtney to vouch for me, like she knows all about this. Tell him you know. Yeah, he sent me that saying he was a werewolf, and that just sounds so stupid when I say it out loud. Okay, so he said that. At first I honestly thought he was kidding. I kind of thought like, oh, he's just joking around, like whatever. He watches too much Teen Wolf. So I thought he was joking, kind of went on with my day, like I kind of ignored it. But as time went on, he would do things that were a little off, a little strange. He would just sit wherever he was and he would just stare at something random. And then he'd start to clench his jaw and he'd just stare at something. And then he would literally start to growl, and I'm really scared, honestly, that he's gonna watch this video, because if he sees this video, that might not be good for me. That could I don't know, he's kind of crazy and it could affect my safety, so I'm really scared to post this, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. So yeah, he would just sit there and stare at things and growl. He would even pounce on the ground. He would tell me at night he would have to go to the mountains. And then he also had a necklace and a ring that he said had to do with the pact. And so he would always talk to this girl, I'm not going to say her name, but he would always talk to this girl, right? And he told me that he had to talk to her because she was a part of the pact. And so they always had to talk and stuff, and they exchanged notes, and we would write notes so every single day. So I wish I would have kept some of those, but I didn't because we broke up, so I'm not going to keep the notes. But he talked about it all the time in the notes. And so yeah, he would talk to this girl all the time. Later on, ends up that he cheated on me with her. So That's great. What a great excuse. I mean, I never believed him, just putting it together. I never thought he was an actual werewolf. Part of me thought he was kidding, part of me just thought he's crazy. The other part of me is I was blinded because I started to fall in love with this kid before he told me he was a werewolf though. So I was like falling in love with him, and then he told me that, and I don't know why, but then I was just kind of like, I put it in the back of my head and I didn't really think about it. I was being stupid. I thought it was just something stupid and I ignored it. And he would just do all these weird things, and he would, he like talked to these girls. I even found messages between him and a girl talking about like transforming or whatever. And he would always tell me all these excuses of why he couldn't hang out because he had to go up to these mountains with these people. And then he always hung around bad people, like really bad people. And that was his excuse for hanging out with them, is that they're part of the pack. Like everyone's a part of the freaking pack. I don't know. And he would tell me all these things that you would literally hear on Teen Wolf. So personally, I honestly don't want to like joke on it too much because I know that he probably has a actual mental disorder or something, because he's like, along with telling me he was a werewolf, he lied through his teeth. He had a lot of, like, lying is like a major problem with him. He has very bad anger issues, like all this stuff. But yeah, so I feel like there is actually something wrong with him. But yeah, he said he would always tell me that, because I would tell him I didn't like the fact that he was a werewolf. Like I would tell him like, I don't get it, like what are you doing? Why are you telling me this? Like, is it even true? Like all this stuff. Like obviously I didn't think it was true. I didn't believe in like werewolves or whatever. And he would tell me that he was searching for a cure, that there was a cure out there and he had to do certain things to get a cure. So he would tell me that he'd have to go to the mountains and he'd have to get beaten and stuff like that to get a cure to like make him not werewolf anymore. And he told me about 3 times. He's like, one time he's like, oh, I got the cure, I took it, like we're good, I'm no longer werewolf or whatever. And I was just kind of like, okay, good, like the stupid like comments about it will stop. But then he's just like, oh, like I like got in a fight with this other freaking werewolf and now I'm a werewolf again. I don't know. It was so stupid. And I'm like, I literally even asked him like, are vampires freaking real too? Like, no. He was like, no, it's nothing like that. It's just werewolves. I don't know. Anyways. So he would go back and forth saying that like he got a cure so he's not werewolf anymore. But then he would say he is again. And every time we'd fight he'd say he is. And he'd come to school with these like welts on him. I don't know what they were from. I don't believe that like they were from like getting beat for werewolves or whatever. He probably got in fights because he got in fights a lot. So yeah, I'm assuming that that's why. But yeah, I don't even know what else to say besides he told me he was a werewolf, and it's like it continued for the longest time. I can make several videos on this dude of like story times because it was like the most intense relationship I've ever been in. The worst one I've ever been in, and there's so many crazy stories, so if you want me to tell any of those crazy stories, let me know. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that, is he would like tell me all these things about him being a werewolf, like do weird things, and I still don't know. Still to this day, he tries to talk to me, and we've been broken up for like a good 4 or 5 years now, and he still tries to get in touch with me, so it's kind of getting sketchy, and not really cool. So I just want to put a warning out there. If you're in any kind of a relationship where they tell you things that you know are lies and fabricated, end it right away, because don't be like me and be stupid and stay in that relationship. I know a lot of you are probably like, why did you stay with this kid? That's a great question. I wish I knew. I was a freshman. I was in love. I didn't care. I was just stupid, all right? Plain, flat out stupid. So yeah, I know it was a stupid thing to do, and I've learned very much from that experience, so never again will I, do that. So yeah, if you're in a relationship that's really harmful or toxic, or like the guy or girl lies a lot, end it, because I promise you, you'll be way better without. Like I've learned, I thought that it was my first love, and I was like, oh, like I'll never find someone else like the love that I felt with them, like I'll never find that again. But no, it's not like that. It's not true at all. Like, it takes a while to get over it, but you'll be fine. So I just recommend, if you're in any toxic relationship like that, end it now. It'll do so much better. So yeah, that was my story time about my ex telling me he was a werewolf. Crazy, I know. I'm not making this up at all, I promise. I wish I had proof to like show you like notes and stuff, but I really don't. I like throwing them all away and stuff. But yeah, so that is my story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. It wasn't too long because I didn't really have much to like say about it, but I hope you enjoyed nonetheless, and leave me video comments down below. I'm also vlogging today, so keep your eye out for that video. That should be up soon, and I'll see you next time. Bye!